4 people are dead and 9 others injured after a high school shooting in Georgia. Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris spoke about the shooting at a campaign event.
This is just a senseless tragedy on top of so many senseless tragedies. And it's just outrageous that every day in our country, in the United States of America, that parents have to send their children to school worried about whether or not their child will come home alive.
Authorities say the suspect is in custody. It is a 14-year-old boy who is a student at the school. Tricia Kindleman is following the story for us, and she joins us live. Tricia, can you take us through what we know about exactly what happened?
Yeah, Lindsay, well, it's been a heavy day for many involved, and we heard, what Kamala Harris said there and that about how it's tragic for parents to have to get these phone calls, receive these messages from their children. We're really hearing from officials at all levels. President Joe Biden put out a statement saying similar things. Even Donald Trump has tweeted, calling this a tragedy. So this event is really striking a chord in many today, given it is just a few days really into the new school year as well, Lindsay. So we can tell you there is a vigil that is currently underway. It's in the community where this happened. Now, this is just outside of Atlanta, Georgia, in Winder, Georgia, Barrow County there. And now it happened at Apalachee High School. So now we also know that all of the schools that are actually in this area were put into lockdown today out of an abundance of caution. That's as those first responders descended on this high school, given this active shooter situation earlier today. Now, this is a small community, only about 18,000 residents or so, about 1,900 students registered at that school. And we heard firsthand from Sheriff Judd Smith just how tranquil this community usually is.
This hits home for me. I was born and raised here. I went to school in this school system. My kids go to this school system. I'm proud of this school system. My heart hurts for these kids. My heart hurts for our community. But I want to make it very clear that hate will not prevail in this county.
So now, Lindsay, as you said, there were 4 people who were killed today. 2 of those were students and 2 of those were teachers. In addition to those deaths, there were 9 people who were taken to hospital and treated for their injuries. Of course, this investigation is ongoing, and it will, I'm sure, stretch into the coming days and weeks. But again, we are just seeing this outpouring of reaction coming from all levels of government, from all levels of law enforcement. It was even addressed today at the White House press briefing.
While the president and vice president have taken historic action to reduce gun violence, more must be done to keep our schools and communities safe. We continue to call on Congress to do something, Enough is enough. And I cannot say this enough, which is enough is enough. We cannot allow this to happen in our communities. We cannot allow this to happen in our schools.
And now we should note that according to CNN's data tracker of school shootings, there have been 45 so far in 2024. Now, of course, that is the entire calendar year, not just this school year, which, as we said, really is just days into the new year. So what happened today, we know, Lindsay, was call starts come in around 10:20 local time. We saw those first responders again descend on the high school. They had the children removed, the students removed a short time later, and they had them gathering out on a nearby football field. And of course, you can imagine the panic that was sent into the hearts of parents and loved ones of these students as those messages began to come out as well. Text messages, that sort of thing. There's this open line of communication from parents to their children right now. And there's been harrowing stories told about parents communicating. Here's one grandparent actually who arrived at the scene and what she had to say.
My daughter called me at work screaming that there was a shooter at Apalachee and begged me to get there as quick as possible. He was with the principal, and the principal told him, run to the band room, don't look back, just keep running.
So now the FBI and the ATF are at the scene. They're working with local law enforcement officials to further this investigation. They say they have talked to the gunman and to his family, but they did not reveal any information about those interviews as of yet, Lindsay.
Thanks, Tricia.